Hey Knights, so this is the next set of chapters, and I think what I'm going to do from now on is just do 4 chapters for each video. So these are the next 4 chapters, and I smell barbecue. I smell barbecue. It smells like barbecue or like smoker barbecue. It smells good though. And I know that was really random, but it's what I smell, and it's like a very strong scent. Anyways, back to the story. So chapter 11. We had about finished our breakfast when Master Splinter emerged from his room. "Good morning, Master," I said respectfully. "A pleasant morning to you as well, Roxanne." Then he continued cautiously. "Last night, Leonardo told me the reason they brought you here is because when they found you, you transformed into something resembling my sons. At first, I assumed you were another crewing experiment, but that has been clarified." Then he paused. "Could you do it again? Can you transform?" I stood up and sighed. "I can try." "Can I do this? I mean, really. Last time was just an accident." "Well, Roxanne, this is it. Willpower. Willpower." I closed my eyes and willed myself to change. The same cold feeling passed through my body. I opened my eyes and looked down. My clothes were gone. I was naked. My outfit was replaced by a shell, and I was green. Embarrassed, I quickly snatched the blanket off the couch and covered myself. The boys just started laughing. Master Splinter remained silent. "Okay, where did my clothes go? I'm naked." "Oh man, was I like this when they found me?" "You're not naked. You've got a shell," Raphael spoke from behind me. I opened my black blanket enough so that I could look down at my body. Kind of strange calling it my body. He was right. The shell covered everything. My breasts, when they weren't really breasts anymore, like lumps under my shell. I guess the turtle and human DNA doesn't really mix well in that area, as turtles don't have breasts. So it was like a combination of both. It looked like a curvier version of Venus, the female Ninja Turtle from The Next Mutation, a short-lived live-action Ninja Turtle TV series. It's never really hit me that you guys don't wear any clothes and walk around naked till just now. I swear I could feel Michelangelo shrug from behind me. "You look fine. Our shells are pretty much like clothing. If we can do it, so can you," Donnie said encouragingly. Master Splinter still silently nodded agreeably. "Okay," I told them. I closed my eyes again. "Cowabunga," I whispered to myself as I let the blanket go. "See, it is not so bad. I have never seen a female mutant turtle, but I must say, you make a very beautiful example," the giant rat said kindly, which made me feel a whole lot less awkward. Then I grinned, still facing Master Splinter. "Don't you boys think for a second I don't realize that you're not checking me out right now?" Raphael chuckled evilly. Then Sensei just rolled his eyes. Teenagers. I took a few steps forward, experimenting with my new sturdy green three-toed feet. I reached down to touch my long, muscular legs, and my skin felt leathery. Then I noticed my hands again. Only 3 fingers. Well, technically 2 fingers and a thumb. I faced the turtles and saluted them Vulcan style. "Live long and prosper," again with the confused looks. I guess they must not have Star Trek here. Another thing I noticed, my ring, just like my clothes, were gone. Probably in between dimensions or something like that. Who am I going to question the ring? I ran my hand over my smooth, oddly shaped head. "I guess you guys never have to worry about bad hair days then, huh?" I quipped. "Being a mutant has its ups and downs," Mikey said cheerfully. I wonder. I thought to myself as I walked back to the table and tried to pick up my spoon. It fell right through my hand and clattered noisily on the cement floor. I bent down and picked it up again with the same result. "Ugh," I cried frustratedly. "How do you guys get anything done with these things?" I thrusted my hands out. Mikey slid his chair back, standing up and gently placing his hand on my shell. "It's okay, I'll show you," he said kindly. He bent down and slowly picked up the spoon and set it on the table. "Now you try," he smiled encouragingly. I copied him exactly, and much to my surprise, the spoon didn't fall to the floor, but remained in my hand. "Victory is mine!" I yelled triumphantly, mimicking Stewie from Family Guy, a phrase I often quote when things go my way. Everyone laughed at that statement, even Splinter. Then the master gained a more serious tone. Now that sons have eaten, it is time for your morning team practice. Leonardo, I trust you will handle it. I will be in my study, should you need me." "Sir," I said respectfully, "do you mind if I join them?" He complimented this while stroking his long, thin beard. Normally I would advise against it, as you may or may not serve as a distraction, but I will leave this decision up to Leonardo. As soon as he turned and walked away, Raphael rolled his eyes. but that's a typical Raphael thing to do. As soon as the door to the sensei's room had shut, I turned to face Leonardo. I crossed my arms, feeling my cold chest plate against them. So, fearless leader, I cocked my head. What's the verdict? Why do you want to join us for practice? He asked with a hint of suspicion in his voice. I want to take this new body for a test drive. Chapter 12. I followed the turtles into the next room over. It was quite large, and had a higher ceiling than any of the other rooms I've been in so far. I'm going to let you stand over there and watch for now, Leonardo said a bit sternly. I shook my head. Tisk, 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 Leo. You don't know me. You're not my boss. You're not going to let me do anything. That is not how you talk to women. You need to ask us, not order. I'm going to respect your wishes because I'm in your family's house and your guest, but you need to work on your gentlemanliness, okay? Leonardo was embarrassed. Donatello looked just plain shocked that I had said that to Leo. Mikey and Raphael just burst out laughing. I'm sorry, but I would be laughing too. It's just something I find hilarious. It's awesome. Burn, bro, Mikey managed to say. There's hope for you yet, Raphael said while slapping me on the back or the shell. Guys, it's okay. I felt guilty for embarrassing Leonardo. I mean, he doesn't have much experience with girls. The closest thing he has to a girlfriend is a semi-evil blade-wielding female foot soldier who occasionally makes small talk while trying to kill him. I'm sorry, man. Let's try that again. Still slightly embarrassed, but looking a little relieved, he sighed. Roxanne, would you like to watch from over there? He pointed to an area beside some weights and other equipment. I smiled at him. Yes, Leo, I would love to watch from over there. Thank you for offering. I walked over and sat on the floor, my bare green skin feeling the coldness of it. It was strange. I felt totally at home in this form, not at all awkward like at first, like it had been a part of me. But then again, recently I find nothing that strange anymore. I quietly watched as the boys began practicing various ninjutsu moves, twisting and kicking and punching in perfect unison, so deeply concentrated in their practice they probably forgot I was even there. I was in so much awe. I mean, it's one thing to watch it on a screen curled up in your bed with a bag of chips on a rainy night. It's another to actually watch it. To hear the thuds as they landed on the wooden floor, the sounds of the tails of their masks whipping against their shells. Okay, guys, weapons, Leonardo ordered. They turned and walked to the equipment area that I was seated in. Enjoying the show? Raphael asked sarcastically. I stood up, not containing my cool anymore. Of course, you guys are amazing, I said enthusiastically, releasing my inner fangirl. They reached for the rack, each girl picking their personal weapon. Donatello twirled his bow staff in his hands gracefully before tossing it in the air and catching it with his other hand. It reminded me of a circus act I once assisted with when another girl was sick. Should I? Dono, do you mind? May I? I asked, holding my hand out. Sure, I guess. He looked at me like the way I looked at the not-so-smart townspeople who climb on my trapeze. I placed the 6-foot wooden pole in my hand. Almost like instinct, I twirled it in my large 3 fingers hands in the exact same pattern he had just formed. I tossed it in the air and caught it. The purple-masked turtle's eyes widened. She's a baton twirler, Raphael said, rolling his eyes. No, it's kind of like an act I once assisted during the show. I'm not exactly sure how I did that, though. Act on the show? Leonardo asked, puzzled. Oh, I guess I haven't mentioned yet that I'm a circus performer. A what? Michelangelo looked confused. Yeah, they probably didn't know what that was. Just when I was about to explain, Donatello cut in. Do that again. I nodded and performed it again, as perfect and precise as the first time. I'm starting to scare myself. Back in my world, I've got practically zero hand-eye coordination. Just ask several juggling coaches my guardians hired to teach me, all who failed miserably. And with these hands, how am I doing this? I looked at Donnie, who looked slightly weirded out. His brothers, now armed, gathered around us. He took the staff from my hands. Don't worry, bro. I'm just as surprised as you are. Try this, Donnie said as he began spinning the bow in a more complex pattern, spinning it behind his back before tossing it to me. Okay. I repeated the pattern exactly. Now this. He twirled it faster and faster, switching from hand to hand, striking the air, and finished by thrusting the staff into the ground, using the force to propel both legs into a powerful kick. She'll never do it, I heard Michelangelo whisper behind me. No, man, no way. Not that one, Raphael spoke unencouragedly from behind me. Then it hit me, how I was able to do this. I cocked my classic sideways grins, and executed it perfectly. I think I heard Donatello's jaw hit the floor. How? Just how? He was in shock. The maneuver took me 6 years to learn. That move can take the head off a Kerrang robot. He was shouting now. I can only perform it due to the shape of my hands. It is physically impossible for you to know that. Let me explain, Donnie. I think I figured it out. It was the same thing with the spoon this morning. I tried to pick it up twice and failed miserably, but right after I saw Michelangelo pick it up, I could do it right away. I think in this form. I pointed down to my mutant turtle body. I think I can do whatever you boys can, after I see it once. Donatello calmed himself a bit. That would make sense, I guess. No way, Mikey stated, not believing me. Catch. He threw me one of his nunchucks. Same result. Whenever he tried, I mimicked perfectly. I handed him back his weapons. This is amazing. I wonder if I picked up anything from watching them fight earlier. Oh, yeah. Let's see what this baby can do. I ran and executed a perfect front-forward flip, just like I had seen Leonardo perform just a few minutes ago. Me, a forward flip without landing on my head. Man, if my acrobatics instructor could see me now, that bald old Cuban man would eat that damn paint stick he used to smack my feet with. Man, I was his most uncoordinated student ever. Somebody charge me. The boys just looked at each other, not really sure what to do. Raphael just crossed his arms and shook his head. I'll do it, Michelangelo volunteered. Before he charged, Leonardo put his arm up, blocking his brother. Go easy on her. Be careful. Mikey charged. Somehow, my mangled up mess of ADD brain clicked, and like I'd done it 1,000 times before, I blocked his attack, and in a matter of seconds had him on the floor. It was amazing. My mind completed patterns and put moves together based on the things I had seen the brothers practice. Wow, just wow. Oh, don't look so impressed at yourself. I went easy on you, Michelangelo said, getting up. I spent the next few hours learning and memorizing some moves from equally excited Michelangelo, Donatello, and Leonardo. Raphael just stood in the corner, looking slightly annoyed, but this is usual, punching a very beat-up and patched sand punch bag. My body moved naturally in this form, as if I'd been born on it. I learned fast, instantly, in fact, blowing the minds of my teenage instructors. Quickly mastering nunchaku, bow staff, and katanas, skills that take years and mere hours. I think you've got it, Leonardo told me after the second time I managed to disarm him. Raphael walked back over. So, Mr. Silk Award winner of the year, I asked ever so sarcastically. You ready to get beat by a girl? As if, he rolled his eyes. What's the matter, bro? Chicken? Michelangelo asked while flapping his arms in a chicken dance-like manner. Okay, bring it, little girl. He set down his size. I ran and flipped over him and landed behind him. He spun quickly and kicked me to the floor. I landed hard on my shell. I waited for the pain. Nothing happened. Man, these things are amazing. In my normal form, a land like this definitely would have broken something. This shell absorbed the impact. I jumped up. No wonder you guys aren't dead yet, I said as I grabbed Raph's arms and twisted it in a manner that had it pinned behind his back. What is going on in here? I looked up and it was the young redheaded girl in a yellow shirt. April? I asked. Raphael, noticing my distraction, took the opportunity to put me in a headlock. Yeah, I invited her over here. I told her about you this morning. Donatello spoke as I managed to escape the headlock. He began to explaining me to April. While me and Raphael continued this almost mock fight, apparently she also has the ability to fight like us well. I had Raph pinned again. Oh, this is just too good. Oh, and I'm a circus performer, in case anyone was wondering, I added. He twisted out of my grip. Wait, a what? Hachimayan? I think is how you pronounce it. Master Splinter's voice echoed. I didn't understand what he had just said, but the turtles and even April quickly lined up and kneeled. Their balled-up fists placed on their thighs. A sign of respect, I assumed. The giant rat stood in the doorway. I quickly followed in suit to the others and dropped to the floor. Began to grow suspicious as to why my pupils had continued to practice an hour longer than usual. But now I see why. His tone became more light-hearted. You are a very interesting creature, Miss Roxanne. Chapter 13. Lunchtime. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Chapter 13. Lunchtime. Michelangelo exclaimed excitedly. You brought the stuff? He asked April like he was performing a drug deal. I made the drop. It's on the table and no anchovies, she answered, mimicking his gangster theme. I laughed. Mikey, you kill me. I'd better change back now. I willed myself to change back. This time, a warm feeling passed through me. A flash of green, and I was me again. My skin glowed slightly. April's face was a mix of awe and shock. Wow. That's what I said, Mikey piped up. We walked back to the table. Donnie pulled out another chair for April. I reached for a piece with the thickest crust, but Raphael grabbed it first. Gotta be faster than that. Touche, I surrendered, putting my hands up. I scooped up another slice and shoved a bite over ever so ladylike into my mouth. My mind buzzed again with that miraculous taste. So you know everything about them? April asked, obviously meaning the turtles. Yes, and you as well, April. Now tell me, have you ever thought of becoming a TV reporter? Ugh, no, she replied, looking confused. If you ever did, I'd have it on good authority you'd be amazing at it, I told her, laughing to myself, thinking of classic April, that amazing reporter in the yellow jumpsuit who would bravely risk her own life to get the story. Thanks, I guess. She went back to eating her food. Why do you like us so much? Leonardo asked. Like is an understatement, Leonardo. I love you guys. You are my heroes. And besides, how could anyone not love you guys? The four of you together make the ultimate team. Individually, you are great, but together, you are unstoppable. Each of you brings something to the table. Put those pieces together, and you have the ultimate lean green ninja team. Man, and I thought Leonardo was a cheeseball. Raphael's voice dripped with its usual sarcasm. Shut up, man, Leonardo shouted at Raph. He, as well as Mikey and Donatello, were hanging onto my every word. Please continue, Roxanne. Leonardo, you are the most dedicated and have a very even temperament. A true, fierce, dedicated ninja and a perfect leader. Raphael is the strongest of you all, though your anger sometimes clouds your judgments. You are very dedicated to your brothers and would die before anyone hurt any of them. You always throw the first and the last punch. Donnie, well, you're basically Einstein in a shell. You build battle-quality equipments out of, well, garbage. And Mikey, I smiled at my personal hero. You're just plain epic, man. I looked around. The boys were smiling hugely. Even Raphael grinned a bit. You really think that, of us? Donnie asked, unbelieving. Every single word, I smiled back at him. Did I hear you right earlier when you said you were in the circus? April questioned. Yes, it is, I nodded. I keep hearing that word. What does it even mean? Michelangelo spoke while temporarily removing the pizza from his mouth. You guys don't know what a circus is? Asked April, raising her eyebrows. Mikey shrugged. Even genius Donatello was shaking his head. Well, I guess they wouldn't really need to know about it. So Master Splinter must never have told them. It's a show, a traveling show, that moves from city to city with humans and animals that perform really awesome acrobats, stunts, and stuff like Little Broadway, only more death-defying. I trailed off. Circus isn't something you can explain. It's an experience you can't describe it. You just have to see it to believe it. I shook my head. Donnie, give me your laptop. He slid out of his chair and walked to the coffee table, grabbing the laptop and set it in front of me. I was sitting between Mikey and Raph. They scooted their chairs closer to me as Donnie and Leonardo stood up and walked behind me to see what I had just searched on the web. I hit play and a commercial for a large European circus began to play. I smiled as I watched the wonder in the teenage hero's eyes light up. Even Raphael looked slightly odd, though he hit it well. Then I looked at Michelangelo, and my heart just melted. His blue eyes wide in wonder, just like the faces of many of the people who've come to watch a circus show. That face right there is why circus people do what we do. That's it. Somehow I've just got to take these boys to a circus. I promised myself. Watching on video is nothing compared to experiencing the sights, smells, and magic of it. And you do something like this? Disbelief dripped from Leonardo's voice. I'm a trapeze performer. And what, pray tell, might that be? Said Raphael, slowly annoyed at his brother's awe. Hold on to your... Never mind. You don't wear any socks. I joked as I clicked on another video. They crowded around me again. Can you see, April? Donatello asked her a little awkwardly, as she was pressed between him and Leonardo. A lovely lady in a dazzling white costume walked into the ring. Her flowing white silk cape cascaded around her. See, guys, not only superheroes wear cape, I laughed, thinking back to my own red and gold cape, which I had modeled after the 40s Flyers capes, a tribute to grander circus times. She removed the cape and began climbing the rope. Oh, you climbed the rope. I'm mind-blown. I rolled my eyes at Raphael's comment. She reached for the bar and swung up. Positioning it under her stomach, she let go and styled to the audience, perfectly balanced. Raphael got another bored look. She fell forward, and the audience gasped. She caught the rope connected to the bar with the back of her knees. After that, not another smart-ass remark was made by Raph for the entire duration of the video. I closed the laptop, and yet again I had them all speechless. It was a surprise how many times I've done that so far. You can do that? Michelangelo looked a mixture of awe and shock. And yet another reaction I seem to receive frequently around here. I crossed my arms and leaned back in my chair. If this is a dream, I never want to wake up. That was a simple routine. I do all that and more. Plus, I do it without a net. I'm feeling quite pleased with myself right now. I believe the expression is like a boss. But that's dangerous, Donatello said disapprovingly. And being a teenage mutant ninja who fights giant monsters and foot soldiers on a regular basis isn't equipped. But what we do save lives. What you do is just for cheap entertainment, Raphael chuckled. Cheap entertainment? That went too far, hothead. And you think entertainment doesn't save lives? On my world, you four are just entertainment, and you saved my life twice. You keep saying that. What do you mean by it? Donatello asked gently. I got up, walked to the couch, and buried my face in my hands. Great, now I have to have a heart-to-heart. Well, this was going to happen sooner or later. Have a seat. They followed me to the living room area, each took a seat. Ariel. April, Donnie, and Leonardo sat beside me on the couch. Mikey sat at my feet with his back against the coffee table. Raphael plopped down on the lazy boy. My older brother was your biggest fan. Every Saturday morning, for as long as I can remember, he woke me up, wrapped us both in a big blanket, sat me in his lap, and we watched the classic version of the Your Universe together. I ran my hand over my face and collected myself. I don't think I've ever told anyone about this. We were so close. It was our thing. Since, I don't know, infancy, I loved him so much, I sighed. When I was 6, my family and I were driving to the next lot in our motorhome. I was sitting on my brother's lap. We were watching an episode, and a semi-tractor trailer driver who fell asleep behind the wheel had sideswiped us, and I was thrown out the window. My parents and brother killed instantly. If I hadn't been in that exact spot, sitting in that exact angle, just sat there shaking my head, all these old familiar emotions running through me. Chapter 14. After that accident, I was adopted by the circus's owner and his wife. I cried myself to sleep every night for a year afterwards. The only thing that would calm me down would be popping a VHS of the classic version of this parallel into the TV. My stomach was beginning to turn. When I watched that universe, and for the 20 minutes of that episode, I always felt my brother's presence with me, and for that short time, I could be happy again. Growing up, I was sort of an outcast, and people bullied me, especially boys. Then I turned 12, and I got these. I circled my hand in front of my chest and ran my palms down my waist. Mikey's eyes followed my hands. I started working without the net, and boys were actually nice to me. I buried my geekiness deep down, hiding it from the world, trying to fit in. For 3 years, I felt sort of normal, but that's when the crap hit the fan. I looked down, staring intently at the ragged old throw rug Mikey was sitting on. What happened? Michelangelo asked as if dreading the answer. The corner of my mouth twitched into a small smile. I fell in love. The boys immediately looked at Donatello. Raphael crossed his arms. I chuckled slightly. The tall, skinny turtle expression clearly stated, what did I do? April clearly didn't notice, or if she did, she hid it well. This was so adorably awkward. I continued on. I fell face first in love with this guy. He promised me the world. The whole world. The whole time we will be together forever thing, you know? Actually, we don't, Leonardo chuckled. Thank goodness, Raphael quipped. I felt the room lighten a bit. Anyways, to make long story short, he cheated me with some skank while we were in a long-distance relationship. After his troop leader cussed out my guardian and got the troop fired. I pulled my knees to my chest and rested my chin on them. Rotten bastard. I found out about 20 minutes before I had to go. It crushed me completely. I think I cried off all 6 layers of my makeup. But you know the show must go on. When I went up there, my head just wasn't in the game. When I got to my last trick, a dropping ankle catch, I missed and I fell 25 feet straight onto my head. April gasped. I was rushed to the hospital. They had my whole body immobilized. The doctor assumed I'd broken my neck. But miraculously, out of all things I could have broken, I just tore a muscle in my knee. I walked out of there on my own 2 feet. Which knee? Rapp questioned. My right one. He reached over and placed his hand on it as if feeling for damage. A tingle ran up my spine. I caught his eye, and he quickly put his hand back in his lap. What was that? But then how exactly did we save your life? Spoke Donnie, who was sitting on my left. After the accident, I took a few days off, as the doctor didn't want me walking around much, and definitely not swinging from a trapeze until the muscle healed. I was emotionally crushed. There are no words to describe heartbreak, guys. I won't even try. I don't feel like ever going outside again. I just wanted to die. Eventually, boredom got the best of me, and I stumbled upon my brother's collection of Ninja Turtle videos. I watched one, and I felt, a little more alive, I guess. I watched another video, and another, until I finished all of his VHS tapes that had survived the crash. After 3 days, I felt good enough to climb back up that rope. I performed that night, when I didn't think I could. I was still crushed on the inside, so I searched many stores and searched online for every single episode and movie ever made, most of which I'd watched before, but I rewatched everything. And after 3 months, I felt truly alive again. Sure, my inner geek was out of the closet, my whole trailer covered in more memorabilia of all the geeky things I'm obsessed with. Most of my clothes, too. Sure, everyone looked at me weird again, but I had a reason to go on. And you guys, well, your essence, anyways, gave me that. There was awkward silence. I thought back. So much time had passed since I'd thought about this. Just then I realized something. Time. There's something I need to know, guys. When am I? Mikey laughed. What do you mean, when are you? I shook my head. What I mean is, what part of your story am I at right now? I've been so busy I forgot to ask. Did you fight monkey brains yet? Yes, and Donnie kicked his shell, or monkey butt, Michelangelo chuckled. Donnie smiled, revealing the gap in his otherwise perfect teeth. Did you meet Karari yet? Leo blushed. April face-palmed. His brothers laughed. Yes, Leonardo managed to say. Parasista? What? Rafa gave me an odd look. The, giant bees that turned you into zombie egg nannies? Unfortunately, yes. Man, I just realized how ridiculous that sounds. Raphael omitted. So where are we, then? Donnie sat up straight and explained. Well, we battled Shredder and the Kerrang and rescued April and her father. We barely made it out alive. But at least April and her father are safe. Now they both live back at April's aunt's house. Okay, I know where I am. Right after the season finale. Then I thought back to Parasita in Shredder. That episode scared the crap out of me. Man, if I was in Michelangelo's shoes during the whole bee thing, I probably would have shot myself, I said with just a hint of my giant fears of beard showing in my voice. What's the matter? Scared of a few bees? Raphael joked mockingly. That's quite a statement, coming from the Cockroach King. My battle for sarcasm, supremacy will never die. Then I looked at Mangelo and smiled proudly. Then I placed my hand on his shoulder. You saved the man. You saved the day. The freckled turtle's eyes lit up. Dumb luck, Raphael rolled his eyes. Mikey's smile faded. I looked at his other brothers, none of them coming to Michelangelo's defense. Ugh, typical. They treat him like an idiot. That's the one thing I hate about this universe. I stood up. You know what? Michelangelo is no less a ninja than you all, and I'm sick and tired of you treating him like he's stupid and picking on him, especially you, Raph. I pointed to the green-eyed turtle. He comes up with all the ideas, and always the first to volunteer to do something for the team, even something that could easily kill him. He is no less a ninja than any of you, and even Master Splinter admits he has more raw talent than all of you combined. He is compassionate and kind, and all that is not a sign of weakness. And don't think for a second he wouldn't give his life for anyone in this room, I pointed around. This is why he was, and to this day is, my favorite Ninja Turtle, because he was bullied and had trouble focusing, but still managed to keep a smile on his face, and be a totally awesome, badass ninja. Why do you think the team is still alive or together? If it weren't for his jokes and cheerfulness, you all would have been dead long ago. He gives you all a reason to go on. He gave me a reason. When I was little and being bullied, I just thought of him and his bravery, and it kept me going. Just because he has ADD is no reason to treat him like a lesser member of this team. I shook my head, glad I got that rant out of my system. Raphael stood up and just walked away to his room, obviously annoyed. I sat back down and buried my face in my hands and hair. I felt a hand on my head. I felt a hand on my hand. I looked up, and those big blue eyes met mine. Thanks. That's all he could say. That was enough. AD what? Leonardo looked confused. Attention deficit disorder, I answered quickly. It's something I've got, and I know Michelangelo has it as well. It's a disorder in which the brain has trouble focusing. It's like sometimes when you try to do something, you can't pay attention at all, no matter how hard you try, and then other times you can focus on so well it's not even funny. I'm surprised Donatello didn't figure this out long ago. It was the main reason I was bullied. I can help you focus, Mikey. If you want, I can teach you how. He smiled at me like I was a pizza delivery girl. I squeezed his hands and stood up. Where are you going? April asked. Gonna go talk to the Sulk King. Okay, so that was the next 4 chapters. Yeah, alrighty. Peace out, Knights.